Good evening, my dear friends. I welcome you all to the part 1 of the Science and Technology analysis on August 7, 2022. Friends, today we are going to discuss an article titled The Creatures Which Crossed Over Sea to Find India. A lot of concepts are discussed in this D. Balasubramanian article, among which the evolutionary theory supported by molecular clock is discussed. Then the continental drift theory of the Gondwana plates has been discussed. And it has also been discussed that there was a land called Lemuria. There was an island called Lemuria, and the Kumari Gandham theory of Tamil civilization. The focal point of this article is the lemurs, a nocturnal animal which is called loris in northeast India, and it can be also found at the conjoint of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka. The lemurs are commonly found in Madagascar. Madagascar is an offshore island away from Africa and forming part of the continent of Africa. Madagascar has always enthralled the biologists and geographists for its diverse store of different species of animals and different climatic conditions. The lemurs are very much commonly found in Madagascar. These lemurs fossils have also been found from the Bastar lignite site in Gujarat. The fossils of lemurs and the bats, ancient bats, have been excavated from the Bastan site in Gujarat. How the lemurs, which are commonly found in Madagascar, has also been found in India is intriguing. The distance between Africa and Madagascar is 413 kilometers, and the distance between Madagascar and India is around 3,800 kilometers. We do not find lemurs in Africa. However, the lemurs in the form of from the family of lemurs, the loris, the distant relative of lemurs, are found in India, and lemur fossils have also been found from Bastan site in Gujarat. This explains a very important phenomenon. The first theory propounded was the theory of Lemuria by Philip Sclater in 1860. The zoologist Philip Sclater stated that the island of Lemuria, there was a very large island of Lemuria between India and Madagascar, which had submerged later on. And from this Lemuria, the Lemuria name comes from the name of lemurs, which are found commonly in Madagascar and India. So, the theory of Lemuria, which is a submerged island, submerged means it has gone under the sea, is the first theory which proposed to explain the common feature of lemurs' presence in India and Africa. As I said, in India, lemurs are called loris. These are found in northeast India and at the conjoint of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka. There is the theory of Tamil civilization. The Tamil civilization has come to originate from Kumarigandam, which is the submerged island Lemuria. Pavanar, a noted Tamil historian, has endorsed this belief that the Tamil civilization originated from the island between India and Madagascar, which was Kumarigandam. This is the first theory. And the second theory is the continental drift. As we know, the continental drift was happening. There was a plate called Gondwana. That plate had slid, and India formed the bifurcated plate of Gondwana, which joined with Eurasian plates. And on the joining effect, Himalayas was formed. And due to this continental drift, the lemurs had crossed over the sea to India. They did not venture into Africa because one part of the Gondwana plate was joined with South America to form another plate, and there is a bifurcated plate out of which one plate joined Eurasia, as I said, Eurasian plate. So this is the continental drift theory, the Gondwana plate continental drift theory. Hence, it can be seen that these two theories are trying to explain the commonalities of lemurs found in Madagascar and India. There is a dinosaur which had lived some 80 million years ago. All this Gondwana plate tectonics was happening around 150 million years ago. And by 88 million years ago, India had joined with the Eurasian plate. The bifurcated Gondwana plate of India had joined with Eurasian plate. The fossils of dinosaurs have been found from Madagascar and India alike. That is, Laplatosaurus madagascaranus. Laplatosaurus madagascaranus, a vegetarian eating, very huge neck wala dinosaur fossils have been found from India and Madagascar. This commonality also explains that continental drift theory of Gondwana is correct. Laplatosaurus madagascaranus, Madagascarensis. Laplatosaurus madagascarensis was a very huge dinosaur which once lived some 80 million years ago. And the commonality of the finding explains that India had indeed drifted, continentally drifted from the Gondwana plate. Then, explaining the molecular clock theory. This is the third theory. In the molecular clock theory, what is explained is that what is a molecular clock? A molecular clock explains the time of mutations from a common ancestor. There will be a common ancestor for all the animals, and from the common ancestor, the gene mutations are happening, and the animals are developing different characteristics with the gene mutations. Gene mutations means the changes in the gene. When the changes in the gene, that is mutation, is happening, the characteristics of the animals also change. And it takes billion years to have a change happening. For example, in the blood, there is a hemoglobin which changes every billion years by 0.52 per sample. So, the molecular clock theory tries to find how much time this evolution took. That is, the point of time of change is always constant. Maybe million years, maybe lakhs of years. However, the change happens randomly, although the point of change that is a constant. The change is constant. So, a time period of a million years or billion years is looked into to find how much time the evolution took. This is the molecular clock theory. There is a freshwater fish that is known as Pallati in Kerala, which is also found in Sri Lanka. This is the greatest example of molecular clock theory. This fish is also known as, in scientific name, it is known as Pseudonyma mollusk. This fish, Pallati, is commonly found in India as well as in Sri Lanka. Then there is the case of the freshwater crabs, the Giccasinidae. The freshwater crabs are known as Giccasinidae. It can be found commonly in Southeast Asia and India. These fish, the Pseudonyma mollusca and the Giccasinidae, all these have come from one common ancestor which lived in India as well as Sri Lanka. The molecular clock theory finds that from the common ancestor, a particular period of time this evolution has taken place. Although this freshwater fish is very common in India and Sri Lanka, the Pallati, this fish has a common ancestor. Similarly, the crab, freshwater crab, Giccasinidae, is having a common ancestor. It is difficult to cross over the sea to go to Sri Lanka. However, this plate theory, the Gondwana plate theory, explains that this has happened because when the plates drifted, the common ancestors were diversely thrown out into different lands and countries. Friends, I have explained the Lemuria theory, the continental drift theory, and the molecular clock theory to understand how lemurs are commonly found in Madagascar and India. Madagascar and India is 3,800 kilometers away. However, the lemurs are not found in Africa, which is just 413 kilometers away from Madagascar. So, these are the theories which explain why this far the lemurs are found and not the nearer Africa where it ought to have been found. Friends, I will come with the part 2 of the science and technology analysis in a short while from now. Till then, take care. Bye. Have a nice evening.